give your home a luxurious, high-end feel without breaking the bank, today is your lucky day. I know some amazing tips and tricks that can make your home look like you've spent a fortune, minus the actual spending a fortune part. I'll walk you through some simple tips, some which you can start applying pretty much as you watch this, that will give your living space a high-end aesthetic. So let's jump right in. Number 1. Use large-scale artwork. If you want your wall decor to look high-end, then you should try introducing large-scale art pieces into your home. This will help elevate the look and feel of your space. Large art pieces generally require more materials and time to create than smaller pieces. This can make them appear more valuable in terms of both effort and cost. Also, because they take up more space, they tend to draw more attention and can create a more impressive visual impact. Now don't worry, there are many affordable ways to get large-scale art. You can DIY it, there's Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, prints, printables, etc. The thing I like about printables is that you can change up your artwork frequently without feeling like you're wasting a ton of money. There are cases where it doesn't make sense to use a large piece of art, like maybe your room is really small or the ceilings are low, so use your own judgment. But often, displaying large pieces of art can help to create a focal point and add a sense of drama and sophistication to a room. Number 2. Reduce visual clutter. The secret to getting the magazine look in any space is to reduce visual clutter. Visual clutter is basically the presence of too many conflicting items, colors, shapes, or patterns in a space that make it difficult for the eyes to focus. Visual clutter can create a sense of chaos or confusion. It can make a space feel overwhelming, stressful, and even reduce productivity or concentration. There are a lot of ways to tame visual clutter, but one really effective and inexpensive method is by transferring your everyday items into nice-looking containers. So for example, you take common household items like soap, laundry detergent, and pantry staples and decant them into visually pleasing containers. The containers you use could be recycled glass jars, they could be pretty little thrifted containers that you collect over time, empty fancy liquor bottles, or they could be a matching set that you buy on Amazon. Whatever visually pleasing means to you. I would recommend prioritizing the items that you keep out on your counters, the stuff that you see every day, and then once you've tackled those things, you can move on to the stuff in your clothes storage if you want to. Number 3, remove labels. If you don't have the time or budget to decant your items into other containers, you could even just simply remove the labels from your existing products instead. It might not be as impactful as decanting, but when you remove the labels, you're left with a plain, neutral surface that can make containers and bottles look simpler and more streamlined. This can create a cleaner, more cohesive look, especially if you have multiple containers of different brands and designs. I realize removing labels might not be practical for people living in shared spaces or in big families where it can be difficult for everyone to keep track of what's what. If that's your situation, then maybe you can compromise and instead print out nice uniform labels that everyone can easily read and recognize. Failing being able to print prettier labels, you could even just make your own by using good old masking tape and a Sharpie. Whether you choose to remove labels or decant, the point is that you're eliminating the clutter of multiple different packaging designs, colors, and labels. This will really help to reduce visual clutter and create a much more streamlined look that not only promotes calm and relaxation, but also looks a lot more high-end. Number 4, install dimmer switches. So normally I would just recommend putting in smart bulbs, but sometimes all you need in life is a simple dimmer switch. When you can adjust the intensity of the light in your room, it allows you to create different moods and atmospheres. This level of control over your lighting can make your space feel more sophisticated and elegant. There's nothing worse than having to turn on the dreaded overhead light when you're trying to create an intimate or cozy setting. For example, one area where I installed a dimmer switch was on the sconces in our ensuite bathroom. I made this tweak because the bathroom is directly connected to our master bedroom. If you put a bunch of effort into creating a relaxing, sanctuary-type bedroom, but then your connected bathroom has these super intense bright lights that are maybe even a different color temperature from your bedroom lights, it can create a jarring visual disconnect in the evening. At least I think so. Now we have a mix of overhead and sconce lighting in our bathroom, so if I need the bright lights, I can turn them on. But I like having the option to tone things down a bit in the evening. Installing a dimmer switch is a small, inexpensive change, but it can make a huge difference to the overall feel of a room. So it's definitely a change that I would recommend making if you want to get a lot of bang for your buck. Number 5, hang a large mirror. If you're having trouble deciding what style of art to choose, but you want to fill a gap on a large bare wall, then you could always hang a large mirror instead of artwork. Just like with artwork, Mirrors can create a fantastic focal point in your room, but with the added bonus that they don't come with the potential problem of clashing with your existing decor or the pressure of choosing art. Mirrors are always a great option because they serve so many purposes all at once. They fill wall space, they're decorative, they make your room brighter and feel larger, and usually they have a pretty affordable price tag. So big mirrors can, again, give you a lot of bang for your buck. Shop for big mirrors at places like IKEA, Target, and Home Goods. All of these places have decent big mirror options for low prices. I've also found some pretty good deals on large scale mirrors on Wayfair, so you can check there too. Number 6, stay on top of maintenance. If you're aiming to give your home a luxurious and sophisticated vibe, it takes more than just fancy decor. Paying attention to the finer details through regular maintenance tasks is key. These tasks may seem small and insignificant, but they play an important role in elevating the overall look and feel of your home. Remember, the little things matter, and it's often the small details that make a big difference in creating a high-end and polished aesthetic. I recommend making a list and going through your home about once a year to see what needs doing. For example, make sure all the caulking around your sinks, tubs, and showers is looking good and isn't cracked. If it is, take some time to redo it. Remove scuffs from your walls and baseboards with a magic eraser. Love those things. Check to see if you need to touch up paint anywhere. Deep clean all your upholstery, carpets, and rugs. Staying on top of cleaning, organizing, and other maintenance tasks can create a space that feels a lot more high-end and just overall nicer to hang out in. Number 7, introduce pattern. Another way to make your home feel more high-end is to introduce pattern. If you don't have any pattern in your space, it can sometimes start to feel a little flat and boring. But learning to introduce pattern into your decor can really take your space to the next level. Patterns add complexity and texture to a room, which can make it feel more sophisticated and interesting. High-end spaces often use layering of textures and patterns to create a sense of depth and richness. If you're not sure how to incorporate pattern, one easy way is by adding a rug to a room. You can also bring patterns in through less expensive decor items like throw blankets and pillows. I always advise against buying patterned furniture because it can become outdated quickly and it can be expensive to replace. Number 8, choose a cohesive color palette. One of the keys to making things look more polished and high-end is to pick colors that work well together and then stick to them throughout your home. It seems simple, but it's amazing how often this aspect gets overlooked. It's very similar to what we were saying before about trying to reduce having a lot of different colored labels and bottles and things like that because it creates visual clutter. Too many different colors or clashing colors or colors that don't flow from one room into the next can lead to a disjointed look that detracts from the overall ambiance of a space. If you're using a cohesive color palette, when you get the itch to change things up, you'll be able to move your decor from room to room and it will fit in wherever you put it. So you're actually stretching your decor further that way because you'll be able to get more use out of it. So make sure you know what your color scheme is when you're shopping and do your best to stick to it. Don't get swayed by pretty things that will stick out like a sore thumb unless you're intentionally trying to draw attention to it. Number 9, display fresh flowers. Nothing beats displaying fresh flowers to add a touch of luxury to your space. They bring in natural beauty and elegance and can instantly make a room feel more upscale and refined. Plus, the colors and textures and the scent of fresh flowers add depth and dimension, creating a truly visually appealing environment. Fresh flowers are often associated with high-end events or special occasions, so having them in your home can create a similar sense of sophistication and luxury and can make a room feel just that much more special. There's of course so many more things you can do to make your home feel more expensive, so I'm curious to know, what are some things that you're doing that I didn't mention today? Share your tips in the comments so that we can all learn from you as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to be with me. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!